What's up, guys? Welcome to Straight from the Chest. My name is Justin Groth, and I want to welcome you to another podcast, another one, like DJ Khaled, right? I can't stand that guy. Okay, anyways, guys, hey, truthfully, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your listening ear. I'm thankful that you're giving me your time. I just want to pretense that as well because it does mean a lot to me, and I'm very grateful for you guys. Any minute you spend with me is a minute you cannot get back. So hopefully, what I do say is applicable to your life, and you can resonate with, and it can actually bring you value, and that's the whole obviously predication behind this podcast. So I appreciate you, man. And but on a more serious note, well, not too serious, but for those of you who don't know, I have a dog, and it is a boxer dog, and I love boxers. I'm definitely prejudiced to any other dog other than well, not really, but most dogs. I don't really care for most dogs. I love boxers. I love terriers in general, but I'm very, very partial to boxers. And um, my boxer got her about 4 years ago. About 4 years, a little over 4 years ago. And so as the story goes, I want to tell you this real quick. As the story goes, we were in search for a dog, and we had looked for a dog at this place in Paso. It was American. We were looking at American bulldogs. There was like 15 in this litter at not a really great environment. And I was telling the person I was with, I was like, you know what? It's not a good look, man. It's not good energy. Like I don't think we should go for this group of dogs. I don't think we should entertain it. And we left, and the person I was with, man, she was real upset, and but she ended up finding another litter. I think it was a litter of boxers in Salinas. And we get to this house, and this house was real nice house. I mean, it was a track home house, but it was a nice house. It was real kept real well. Nice Hispanic family, and they had one dog left. There wasn't even any to choose from. One dog. And we traveled, I think it was like 2 hours or something, and we get there, and there's one dog. And so it's like we have this one dog, we get our hopes up on this one dog, and we get there, we get inside the living room, and this one dog, which is my dog now, runs through the sliding glass door. Not through the door, clearly the door was open, didn't hit his head or anything, hit her head or anything. goes through the threshold, and goes right in my arms, man. It's like the total, picture perfect moment like you see in the movies. A dog comes to you, and it's all happy, and it's okay. Yeah, that happened. Okay, I know it's cheesy, but that happened. And I just knew in that moment, this is the dog. This is it. And we didn't have any options to choose from. It was her or nothing, or go back to the drawing board. And I remember thinking, oh, she's perfect. Like, she's perfect. We end up taking her home. Okay, the rest is history. Now, the reason why I tell you that story is because what predates that story is this story. I remember having boxers. My parents always had boxers. We had quite a couple. Well, we had two boxers. Sorry, let's not lie here. We had two boxers for that, and I love box. I just fell in love. We had other dogs too, but I just fell in love with the boxer breed. So I always knew I wanted a boxer for myself when I got old enough to take care of one, responsible, yada yada. Okay, so I end up thinking to myself, I want a boxer, but I don't want a boxer with the rambunctious personality that comes along with them. Because if you ever owned a boxer, they're very rambunctious. They like to jump up on you, and sometimes they pee when they get excited, and maybe other dogs do that too, I'm sure. But like, that's what I experienced with my parents' boxers, and I didn't want that. I wanted the kind of personality like a lab. So I wanted a boxer look, but I wanted a lab personality. I wanted I wanted the dog to, get up on my lap and put its head between my, like on my leg or whatever, just like demonstrate love for me all the time. That's what I wanted. But I didn't want the rambunctiousness of the boxer. I just wanted the look of the boxer. Okay. I never vocalized that. This is something that is very important to understand here. I never vocalized out loud that this is the kind of boxer that I want. This is the kind of dog that I want. I remember always thinking that. Always. I remember thinking, if I ever have a dog, I want this type of dog. I want these elements in this dog. And I honestly didn't think it was possible because I don't even know boxers to be crazy, wild. So fast forward, we get into this situation where we're trying to find a dog. The only dog that exists at the household to choose from is her. We pick her. Okay. Now, going through the years of raising my dog, she has been nothing but everything that I ever envisioned wanting in my dog. And it wasn't because I trained her that way. I think it had something to do with training, but it had everything to do with her already implicit personality. That's biological. You cannot frame that in a way that fits your fancy. You have to kind of go with whatever personality you have, right? To some degree, I'm going to assume. I'm not a dog trainer, but I would imagine that dogs aren't just robots you can train in any or which way. They're given certain personalities, certain mental constructs and faculties, and then you go with that and you make the best out of that. I mean, my parents' dog is a great example. That dog is crazy and they train her well. They try to, at least. But she's like crazy anyway. So what I'm saying here is this. Big bullet point here. You already know that I'm a religious person. So this is going to trail behind the religious wagon, so to speak. God knew what I wanted, and he didn't just know what I wanted. He knew what would best complement me and serve me and make me a better human being. That's why this dog was brought into my life. And I didn't even ask him for it. I didn't even ask him. He knew. And it wasn't like I oriented myself around finding this particular dog, doing research and finding out how to do this, that, and the other to make this dog the exact embodiment of what I know is going to be best for me and what I wanted. God knew. And it was on the stint of a dog, wanting a dog. How my question for you is, how much more do you think he's going to give to you when you actually ask him? Not only that, this is backed up by scripture. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door shall be open to you. If you want to reference this Matthew 7:7. How much more will he give you when you actually ask? And listen, I've been trying to understand what that verse means because I think that most people would see it as like, look, man, that's, that means I can ask for a Lamborghini and I'm going to get a Lamborghini. Not necessarily. But I do believe that he's a father to us and he wants to give us what we want, provided it's going to complement us and actually bring value and service to our life. So what you ask for, provided it's of selfless service to others, and as well as almost like a reciprocation to you with regards to what it provides you, because that's not a bad thing, by the way. Because it's something that's complementing you, but it's also bringing value to others. when you're asking him for those things, and I know there are things that you are asking him for, and if you're not, start asking him for it every single day. How much more is he going to give you those things? Or rather, orient your path in such a way that calls these specific things to opportunity and or sight, that give you the pathway to receiving these things. How much more is he going to do that for you when you actually ask him? I didn't even ask for the perfect dog, and I got the perfect dog. That's no understatement. This dog is everything and more that I would have wanted in a dog, and not just a dog, but a companion. She gives me so much more than I even thought. And she does everything that I wanted, like in a lab. I almost thought of getting a lab just for the personality. This dog is that to me and much more. And I didn't even ask for it. And there have been other things that I will not bore you with regards to story time, that have happened in my life that I haven't asked for, but God has given to me. And one common thing that has been the common denominator essentially with all of them is all of them have not been self-serving only. They have been selfless, but also in some reciprocated manner. They've been self-serving, but not by absolving the fact of them being serving to others or complementative to others as well in the process. And those things have came to fruition, and I haven't even asked them for those. So this is just something to be concerned with on your end, and concerned in a good way. You may be feeling like, look, man, I don't get anything I asked for. I don't see anything happening in the natural realm right here. Question what you're asking for. Maybe you're asking for the wrong thing. Maybe the thing you're asking for isn't actually serving to you, won't be serving to you, and isn't serving to others, even though you think it's serving to you and you're trying to justify why it would be serving to others. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not coming from a genuine state of mind from you. Maybe it's seasonal. Maybe what you want right now, it's seasonal. It's not something that you can it's not something that can scale or propagate over time. It's something that is just right now, you want it right now, so it's like, yeah, I want this, give it to me now. But it's not serving to you, it's not serving to others, and it's definitely not complementative to you. And that's the big thing to consider. Listen, he's your father. Just like you are a father or a mother, you want to give to your daughter or son extravagantly. Well, so does he. But it doesn't mean that when he gives you something, it's not going to come with some type of a course associated with it. He's going to give you some course. He's going to give you some rocks and boulders thrown your way, and you have to give him the understanding that, look, I have what it takes to get over these rocks. I have what it takes to come through these storms and actually see what you're trying to give me on the other end, because I have faith, and I have the faith in knowing what's not seen. I can still see it happening in my life, even though I can't in my own natural realm identify how it's going to manifest. But if you keep keeping the course, and you keep believing, and you keep asking, and this particular thing that you're asking for isn't for just self-seeking gratification, but it's actually going to give value to others, and it's complementative to you in the process. Look, he wants to give it to you. Trust me. It says it in the Bible. That's a promise. Ask and you shall ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. knock and the door is going to be opened for you. That's not gibberish. So stop thinking of it like it is. Apply it to your life. He calls you to do it. He also calls you to write the vision down and make it plain. Sometimes your visions are going to be self-gratifying only. And sometimes they're going to be the byproduct of something that you are going to give others that's going to be of inordinate value to them, and it's going to help them through the toughest times of their life, and it's going to help them become better versions of themselves, or it's going to provide something to them that they couldn't understand, that they didn't have an avenue to get to if it weren't for you. You have to know that God wants to provide for you. These things he wants to purvey, but you have to do your part. Ask from a pure sense of heart and really take an audit of what you're asking for. Is it self-serving only? Or is it something that you can actually categorize as being self-serving, but in the process you're providing something to somebody so valuable that's the main impetus behind what you're wanting, and in the process is going to provide something for you that's self-serving. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being very successful and then having things show for it. I don't think that God goes against that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. He'll have to tell me. But take an inventory of what you're asking. Make sure that you're asking these things not only daily, but you're asking with pure intent. The foundation behind everything should be not self-serving, but valuing others, what they're going to make of it, and how it's going to benefit them. And as a byproduct, you will be complimented. Done.